Well, here we are, my friend. And you know what I realized? You can't navigate a computer with boxing gloves on.
That's
This,
true.
my friends, is the great debate. At least that's what I'm calling it. We were hoping Tristan could join us and be our Michael Buffer, but he is traveling right now. So if you don't know what the hell we're doing or why I'm dressed like an idiot, it's because we are going to debate. Kyle, as most of you know, Kyle Draper here, put out a post recently that said, well, wait a minute, we might have somebody joining us. We can hold this, but I'm going to give the story real fast.
Okay.
There's a post on Instagram where he says he doesn't believe in teleprompters.
Come on.
I disagree. Michael Buffer just joined us.
Eat French fries.
Well, welcome, Michael.
What's up, guys?
Ready to
What's
rumble,
up?
man. We're ready to rumble. So I want you to lead us in.
Let's
You know
do
what
this.
we're debating the teleprompter today, and then he and I are just gonna duke it out.
Let's do this, man. You guys ready? What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Tristan? How are you, man?
Good. Just got to the hotel for the event, eating some fries.
I feel like you need to give us a really loud "Let's get ready to rumble," like just wherever you are. You know?
Yeah. We're not going to do that. But I'll let you guys in. You guys ready to go?
Let's go.
We ready?
All right, let's do this. Tell me when we're live.
We're live.
Oh, welcome everyone. We've got a showdown today for you. We've got two of my friends, and they've been arguing back and forth, and I can't handle it anymore. I'm just, you know what? Let's go live on this and see who is right and who is wrong. Jeff's a little overexcited. He actually dressed up for this. And we've got Coach Kyle with an amazing background, by the way, Coach.
Thank you.
Great job on that. Jeff brought in the bandana, yellow bandana and boxing gloves. We're talking about who's right. Should we use a teleprompter for going live or recorded on social media? Or should we just be more authentic and just go in it and see how it goes? I'm in the middle on this, guys. And Jeff knows how I feel, how I really feel, because I'm not in the middle. But I'm going to let you guys duke it out. I don't even know who wants to go first. Coach Kyle, Jeff, who wants to go first on this?
I'm gonna let Kyle. Kyle started this. You picked this fight. Well, no, I picked the fight.
That's true.
Jeff,
But you
picked the
originated
fight,
it.
Jeff.
That's right.
You originated it. You go first.
Well, I would like to say first that sometimes the one that feels they need to dress the part may not be able to be the part. And so we'll see, like if me looking normal, maybe that's like the confidence level that I brought into this thing. I don't know. So I've got 5 different talking points that I'm going to play into. The first one is very simple in that I just think that using a teleprompter makes a lot of people seem less personable. They come off very rehearsed. I think there's a lot of research now that'll show that by dropping an in there, it kind of humanizes us a little bit. And so if we're not careful, can our overcomplication of trying to say the right words the right way at the right time cause us to just be less relatable to people?
Fair. Okay. Go on.
Oh, am I go through all 5 right now?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? That's a good point. Let me just debate each thing.
Let's talk. Let's just talk back and forth. Yeah.
Fair enough. So I don't disagree. And I can't say that if you don't use the teleprompter correctly, that you're going to look like a robot or possibly even look like an idiot. And so I am a huge fan and advocate of using a teleprompter. And the reason why is, and I'll probably repeat myself because my response will probably be similar to each of your your reasons, and that is that I feel like although it can come off as unauthentic, most humans are not cut from the cloth to be able to riff. And although you and I and every human, when we're passionate about a topic and when we're in the shower and we're driving in the car, you're on the treadmill and you have that thought in your head, it just comes out so eloquently in my head.
Yeah.
And then even people like you and I who do a lot of this, as soon as I press play, I'm like, duh, duh, right? And it just doesn't come out. And so
Yeah.
even though I can riff with the best of them, I use, and you go stalk my content, stalk my talking head content on Instagram. Those are all with a teleprompter.
Wow.
And you can't tell because I've taught myself how to use it and how to intentionally maybe throw in, like I'll make a mistake because even using a teleprompter, you make mistakes and I leave it in there because I want it to be real, right? I'll fumble a word or something. But you got to practice using that teleprompter. But my opinion is that it makes you more eloquent and it allows you to take if I riffed, I'd probably talk for 5 minutes and I can take that 5-minute thought in my head and condense it down to a minute. And that I think is why I believe in a teleprompter.
Yeah, man, I think there's a lot of validity to what you just said. But my second thing kind of goes against what you just said also.
Bring it.
Right. Because I think that for most people, using a teleprompter doesn't convey what they hope it does. And here's what I mean by that. People will pour their blood, sweat, and tears into writing out the script, right, for what they want to say. And you're writing it from your heart. You're writing it from your passion. You're investing time into writing that script because you want this to go so well. Well, then you jump on camera and begin to read it. And I feel like, Jeff, we're going to have to preface everything we say with, if you're not good at it, right? If you're good at it, it's different. But the moment most people start to read what they poured their blood, sweat, and tears into, they come across like a comatose human that's on a morphine drip that doesn't really know how to smile anymore. Like their brain is so focused on trying to read the words that are coming across that screen that they don't even hardly resemble themselves anymore. And I think then it comes off like it's not heartfelt at all. So that's my second beef with the prompter.
And so I would argue that anytime somebody presses play, whether riffing or telepromptering, they turn into that said zombie and they freak out and they pause. And so my argument to the teleprompter is, at least you have the script now. And most likely, whether I have you go riff, and so no pressure of reading, but there's still the pressure of the red light. You're probably going to fumble. The words won't come as eloquently. And although it's natural, I would argue that might sound worse than what you could do with a teleprompter. And you said it, if you're not good at it. But just like anything, whether you're riffing or telepromptering, no matter what you're doing, it's going to take practice. And if anybody decided, you know what, because a lot of you listening to this might even be like, teleprompter, I guess we should preface that by saying, think the Oscars, think newscasters. You know why they're so good? They're reading it.
Right.
And you have the ability now to download a teleprompter app, write your script, put it in there, and it'll scroll on your screen and honestly, the one I use, which is Prompt Smart Pro, it's voice activated. So it's scrolling with my voice. It's not even a timer. And so Kyle's right. If you suck at it and you feel like when you talk, you're very monotone, you should be practicing first before you start it. You know what? I'll stop right there. I'll let you move on to number 3.
No, I love that. I just wrote down Prompt Smart Pro because I'm going to go check it out and hate it. The only reason I'm going to download it is to hate it. That's the only reason I'm going to do it.
I feel like Tristan's got something to add.
Guys, I thought this was going to be more violent. I'm just surprised. Okay, continue.
You know, I don't, Tristan, there is just not a violent bone in my body, you know, like,
I'm just messing with you guys.
I wish I were more violent, but it would feel so forced. It'd be like me reading a teleprompter. It'd be so fake, you know? Okay.
It's pretty good.
So number 3, you mofo. Does that make it more violent? Is that better?
I'm feeling the heat, bro. I'm feeling the
Okay,
heat.
come on. Jeff, most people just suck at reading the prompter itself. I think most people aren't wired to do multiple things well. And so when I watch people reading prompters, they lose facial expression, they lose inflection in their voice, they lose intentional pauses because they're so like their brain is so fixated on the reading that the natural human tendencies that come out when you and I are just having coffee together, those don't come out.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for me.
I
Screw
agree.
you. I hate you. You're the worst.
No, you don't. You're lying.
I know.
That wasn't very authentic.
I can't. It's just not in me. I'll never nobody will ever ask me to play a bad guy in a movie.
So let me say this, again, countering that is that I would rather, if I had to choose, and I'm talking about the masses here and just the commoner, not the experienced person like you or I or Tristan. There's this thing with social media, and TikTok's changed the way we market, and it all needs to be very condensed, and the shorter the form, the better. And the reality is, and I tell anybody this because I'm always preaching video, you need to be doing video. And what happens is we're scared to death to push play. Then we press play and we don't shut the F up, and we just start blabbering and blabbering and blabbering. And I just think, monotone or not, I'll take your monotone 30-second video over your 5-minute blabbering rant. That's just my take on that.
Okay. So I think this brings up an interesting conversation. So think about, right. I think if we're not careful, the people that you and I and Tristan serve are local people right now. Yes. Are there mega teams and are you in a position in your mortgage company where you're serving a bigger community than St. Louis? Right. But by and large, 90-something% of the people we serve work inside of the community they live their lives. Right. And so my argument to what you just said would be when we stop the thought process of I'm going to go be an influencer on social media and realize you're an effing realtor, right? You are a realtor in a city where like you got freaking drunk with your friends last night and they're still going to buy a house with you because y'all been boys since college. And so I would rather see somebody fumble around a video again in the learning process and their friends go, that's freaking Jeff. That's why I love Jeff. He just dropped an F-bomb on Facebook Live. Like, that's why he's my boy, because you don't know what you're going to get from him. You tame that wild stallion the moment that you go, hold on, bro. No. You're going to read this. Read this. And it'll, so I think that and again, that's not everybody, right? There's going to be a ton of introverted people that you're never going to get a random thing from them that's hilarious. But I'd rather have the raw stumble than the perfect monotone, I guess, if we're going to like label things.
Fair enough. Carry on.
No comeback to that?
No, because I'll be repeating myself.
That's true. I mean, we're already kind of repeating ourselves. Number 4, I kind of already said it, but I think it just needs to be said again in its own statement. Perfect isn't relatable. And when my goal, right, like my goal as a social media guy, I'm not trying to amass an audience. I'm not trying to grow a following. I'm not trying to be idolized by anybody. I am trying to help people. And I think relatable people have a greater ability to help others. And so again, you're super relatable in your videos. You just said they're all teleprompters. So I know that what I'm saying is not an absolute statement because you can overcome it. But I do think in general, like this, I love to say this when I speak. I love to ask people like, what's one of the qualities we dislike the most in other people? And I want them to say people that think they're perfect. To which I then say, but that's the quality you hope to achieve in your video? And they go, I never thought about it like that before.
Mhm.
You know, and so I like, I don't know. I like it when one of my kids runs in the room. You know, I like it when, like, you know, my wife yells at one of the kids. I'm like, honey, I'm doing a video. And I feel like we miss some of that, you know, the more tailored we try to make it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that that is very true as it relates to authentic content. However, and you know, we preach about this. Most of, especially the real estate and mortgage world, really sucks at putting out authentic content. We flock to social media, and then we
Yeah.
just start vomiting about our business. And so if I was to say, if somebody came to me and we were coaching them and they said, I do a really good mix of both. I do exactly what you say. I'd say never teleprompter your real life, But when you're
Good.
putting out content that where you want to talk about a topic in the news or whatever, or you want to talk about what rates are doing, you want to talk about this or that, and you want to do it in an eloquent and shortened fashion, so you're not talking for 3 minutes and you want to optimize it for a TikTok and a reel and a short, then that's where I believe that the teleprompter plays a huge role, because you are a professional. And I think for you to come across as that professional, I'll take my chances on you, quote unquote, perfecting the teleprompter than you constantly trying to just spit it out how it was in your head.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't argue with that. I think you're right. My last thing, and then we can keep fighting or pretend to fight or whatever we're going to do. Man, so here's what none of us have enough of: time. And writing scripts takes time, right? You put, now you're going to say that it's less time than you think.
Hey,
but
don't tell me what I'm going to say, you son of a gun.
Dude, hey, you know, I do what I want. So this is my show. No, it's not actually. It takes more time, you know? So what I found, and you know, again, this is for me, like my personality is very witty. I'm great on the fly. Like, I love being put on the spot. I feel like, you know, you'll hear sports people talk about like that clutch gene. I feel like I've got it. I want the pressure. And so when I'm on the go, for me personally, when I've tried to write out scripts for video, I freaking suck at it. Like, I talk about you to people all the time because I'm like, dude, Pfitzer, like, I don't know how he does it, because I suck at trying to write down what I want to say. I just know I want to talk about something, and then now I'm in a hurry. And so boom, I'm sitting in my car, I hit record and I do it, and it's over. Was it great? I don't know.
Yep.
But was it done? Yes, it was.
Yep.
And so that's my biggest struggle is it would take me an hour. Like, I'm going to download this app and I'm going to try it and I'm going to pull my hair out. And so maybe we can, after we finish fighting, you know, maybe we can even jump into like tips. I don't know, but that's the time part of the prompter piece is a big thing for me.
So for me, and I've done, as you mentioned, thousands of videos at this point, probably well into the 2,000s and 3,000s of videos over the last several years. And what I learned was what works for me. And so I used to riff, and I would have this articulate idea in my head. I would press play and it never came out. Then it never came out how I wanted it to, how it sounded as I was giving this speech in front of thousands in my head, right? Then I went to go do these little Post-it notes, and I would put this right next to the camera, so I didn't have to move my eyes, and I'd have this bullet point list so I'd stay on task. And it still didn't come out how I wanted. Then this platform that we built called Business Video School, the videographer in the group comes to me. He goes, "Hey, Pfitzer and Tristan, for that matter, I need you guys to shoot some videos. I'll just go ahead and script them to you, and you could shoot it." I'm like, and teleprompter. I'd never done that before. And they had like the
Yeah.
legit teleprompter. And we did it. And I was like, wow, like that was cool. And then he's like, oh, and by the way, you can just download this app. And I'm like, are you shitting me? And this is before I had ever scripted a video in my entire life. Then I got to that next phase of, you know what? I'm going to try to take what's in my head and put it to paper. And then I was like, wow, like it comes out exactly like I envisioned it. And it's on paper. Now I just got to read it, show inflection, and get good at it. And I can put as you now mentioned. So I think the moral of the story is simply this. And we knew this before we went into this. There's no right or wrong answer. Do video, period. You got to figure out what works for you. And what works for me, actually, Kyle, and for everybody listening to this, what I do is I batch script, then I batch shoot. And so it allows me to bang out.
Okay.
I'll spend 2 weeks writing a bunch of scripts just when I have time, when I'm flying on a plane, whatever. Then while I take that 2 weeks to do that, which is, sporadically, then I take all of those scripts, upload them to Prompt Smart Pro, and within an hour, I can bang out 20 videos. Pow. And that's what allows me to mass create. And so people say, how do you do so much content? I'm like, it's not because I spend all day doing it. It's because I figured out how to do more of it.
Yeah.
And that's really the thing, because the way you do it only allows I think our mental capacity, especially as it relates to video, really only allows us to work on one at a time. Now, as I have an idea, I make myself a note in my phone, because usually it's an inopportune time, come back to my computer, write out the script, move on. Next idea, put it down, script. Next idea, script.
Yeah.
Then I can bang out all these videos, which is what allows me to be putting out 2-3 videos a day. So that's where it really has worked for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody, and for everybody listening.
Whoa.
Kyle's not right. Jeff's not right. It's what works for you.
Well, I think it's the opposite. I think we're both right. Like,
Good
because
point.
we represent the two options basically that's available to people. Because I'll tell you, like, when I try to batch create as a riffer, it's exhausting.
It's hard.
I get 3 videos in and like I start to look drunk or high, and people like literally like my mom's texted me before and been like, son, and it was because that was video 6 and we're an hour in. And so I'm gonna try to do some scripting when I do batch some stuff. I think you're right. I think that's gonna help me stay on task and be more articulate in what I want to communicate. But I'm still always gonna just pull out the camera, hit the record button, and just freaking go.
And I will say this: you, Tristan, and a lot of our other friends, myself included, are very capable of that. And that's also what has helped create who we are. But listen, no one starts day one and just is smooth at this. Like, this takes practice. Like you didn't get up to walk for the first time. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of mankind. And you walked on the first try. Like, you practice and practice and practice. And it's the same thing with riding a bike. Michael Jordan didn't become Michael Jordan because he didn't take 10 million shots. You and I just didn't go to the gym enough. Well, and I lack the height and the jumping ability, and
I'm too fat, so I can't dunk. So
point is, you're not going to get good at anything if you don't practice. And for many of you listening to this, you're already into your adult years. And if you've noticed, as you get older, the harder it is for you to learn new tricks. And so you just have to have that mental discipline to overcome and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And try it. Just try either one. Listen, if you're listening to this and you're like, I gotta go. Try some riffing, try some telepromptering, and see which one you like better. And maybe, like, I think Kyle, I think you might become a mix of the two.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Yeah, I love it.
Dude, the bottom line is, everyone on here that's not doing enough video, you're gonna suck at both ways.
Yep.
Right, you're gonna suck at both.
Correct.
You're not gonna riff as well as you'd like, and then you're not gonna read a prompter as authentic as you wish.
Yep.
And so the true answer to all of this is be so committed to this because of the power it gives that you just refuse to quit
Bingo.
and you're going to suck your way into being good at it.
Bingo.
So
Mic drop. It's been fun, my friend.
I still regret that I didn't have like a Rocky Balboa outfit on or something.
As you should. I'm going to let Tristan back in and let him say his piece.
Close us down. Is he
Close
going
us
to
down.
declare? Is he going to declare a winner?
Tristan, are you going to declare a winner? Oh, you got to unmute, buddy. Unmute.
I'm gonna declare a winner here. Hold on, it's gonna be me. That's who won this whole thing. Hey, you guys know. No, here's you said something like about 5 minutes ago. I heard the tail end of it, and you were talking about right or wrong. And I think that's the problem with a lot of the things that we look at. We're always looking for it to be right or wrong instead of it just being. And in this case, guys, it just is.
Yeah.
Right. And so I love that both of you had amazing opinions about both sides of this, but I'm gonna have to agree with you. There is no right or wrong. It just is, and you guys do an amazing job on both. So, dude, Kyle, are your colors changing in the background?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that's cool. I just
I have an
noticed that you started
assistant
with
that she's down here on her knees,
That's
just
the
tapping
one.
the change the color button.
Ooh, we should do a whole recording on that the whole time.
Am I the only one that caught the inappropriate side of that?
I mean, only because you
Yeah,
chose to let
Jeff,
your
damn
brain
it.
go there, you dirty man.
Jeff, damn it.
Ah.
All right, guys.
Tristan,
Great job on
Tristan,
this
thanks for
one.
moderating, man.
Yes. Thanks for being on, buddy.